Hello again, this is your host Pearls doing my Let's Play of, something special. This is going to be a treat, a little bonus video for people who are clever enough to figure out how to get here. This is a preview of some of the elements of The Second Sky, the upcoming game in Caravel's Beathro Budkin DROD series, which will be the climactic game in Beathro's story arc, dealing with events after the City Beneath. A little bit of context for if you are one of my viewers, you know that I haven't been updating as much lately. That's because Caravel came to me one day through the forums and said, hey, we really like your videos, and we know a lot of companies actually make their game testers record their videos of them playing so they can figure out the interactions of elements and bug testing, and they said it's really valuable to them, so let's see if it's valuable for us. And I'm like, sure, I can do that, I guess. And they said, and so I've been doing that for a little while, which has been a little bit time consuming, but it's not been too bad. But for this particular one, they said, okay, we've made you this sort of special hold. It's sort of an edit of your current run through, and we'd like you to play the next 5 rooms, but do it in a demonstrating fashion, so we can start showing people off some of the elements of The Second Sky. And I was like, all right, I can definitely do that, sure. And so here I am, giving you this Beathro. I know Beathro's probably just as bored as all of you watching, like, come on, Pearls, get with the picture. And I get it, but, so yeah, here I am in Bombus's Condiment Vats, the second floor. Bombus's Condiment Vats is actually a really big, sort of like major overarching hub that you come back through and weave in and out of inside The Second Sky. It's big, it's fun. I guess these are relish vats or something. But it is enormous. You can tell it because it's a thorse. So I don't even know what that means. Octants. My Latin's kind of shady, or simple English, or whatever the 8th language is. But I was actually kind of questionable, like how does Bombus get back into the story? But it's actually really cool how Bombus relates to the grand events and why I'm here and what I'm doing. I'll let your imagination kind of go with that for a little while. But suffice to say, it's really satisfying. I really like it. It was unexpected, but it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So here I am, Bombus' Condiment Vats, showing you off some elements of The Second Sky. Anyway, without further ado. Okay, and they start off with, I actually have not seen what these rooms are. They told me to say, this is play the next 5 rooms and then stop. I'm like, alright, I can do that. One of the new elements, the Roach Horn. Now, the Roach Horn is somewhat like the Soldier Horn, and from Gunther and the Epic Blunder, except this horn isn't for me. It's for the Roach Queen, who has decided she's had enough of my shenanigans and is going to call for help so that her babies can be protected and she can be protected. And when she gets to that Roach Horn, a questionable number of roaches start beelining right towards me, and it's pretty rough. Now, another thing you might be noticing here, I can actually start it over so you can see it better, is roaches behave a little bit differently than perhaps you're used to. Like, see this is not normal roach behavior. That's okay. So there's been some comments, especially when we released Flash DROD, that the typical roach AI of moving to a corner, and if it goes either horizontally or vertically, where it always chooses to go vertically, is, to be fair, kind of an unsophisticated attempt at monster AI. So what Caravel has opted to do is just to give is to completely revamp all of the various types of monster, like golem movement, roach movement, goblin movement, into something more sophisticated and smarter. So now roaches will not just blindly throw themselves at your sword. They're smarter than that, and it makes for a pretty good challenge for the player. I'm actually a big fan. It gets me into some stickier situations, but I feel like the gameplay is more fulfilling and less arbitrary, like the vertical preferences. So I really like it. I think it's a good move for, oops. This is actually a glitch that they have in the current build right now. If I press tab, it does the clone button. Whatever. It's just a dev build, apparently. Oops. You can do that all day long, just to scare people. Let's see here. Looks like I'm not going to be able to complete this room. Like I said, Bombus's Condiment Vats is a big level, so when I come from the north, probably I'll be able to solve this room if it wraps around that way, which I may not do in this playthrough or not. I have no idea. Looks like I'm going to have to just stay here tucked in the corner. Or maybe I should just start here and then count down from that way like this. Perfect. Okay, so yes, Roach Horn and Smarter Monster AI are 2 of the new features for sure. Okay, so this is a good one. So TF Murphy is a big fan of the Battlefield games, and I remember reading a thread where they were saying, I like this sort of war-style combat. They have ships and planes and tanks and stuff to get around the map, and I think that's really cool, and I think we should bring that to DROD. And which is interesting because everyone likes vehicles apparently. Who needs a controlled B-throw when you can have a motorcycle? And everyone's like, yeah, that's a really great idea. And of course, M. Reimer, the owner of Caravel, says, you know what? I'm a huge Mario Kart fan, and I am all about this. And he coded it up, and it's been beautiful ever since. So this is actually a really fun element, a new way for I love the sound effects, for B-throw to zip around the 8th. Now the motorbike moves 5 at a time, and 5 spaces at a time, but if you are careless about it, you can crash into a wall and your body parts fly out everywhere, and it's really horrifying. I really like this. It adds a lot of really exciting movement possibilities, and you got to be really careful on how you get around the map. I actually really like it as a puzzle element. So it runs over everything you see. So, and this isn't the only vehicle in the game. There we go. For water, there's the rowboat, which behaves in a completely different way than platforms for getting over water and shallow water. The interaction is just really, really slick. I like how it plays out. And for getting over pits, there's something like a set of wings, but and that's even more confusing. But it's still a lot of it's in the work. But the motorbike is for sure amazing. Oh, I got a 74 combo. What up? Another thing that makes the boat, or sorry, not the rowboat, the motorcycle a lot of fun is you can see how it actually is a challenge to find a way out of the room because you can only move 5 at a time. So you have to like get through these maze of blocks, and if you don't, you get stuck. But anyway, moving right along. With my rowboat levels, I've not met the giant ichthyosaur, by the way, which I hope is an element in this game. I'm kept blind to a lot of stuff, including this particular level set, so nothing yet, but I can believe. Ooh, I see 2 things we can talk about in this room.
Wait there.
Make that 3.
Shortly.
Hello.
Keep running,
Oops.
Delver.
So this is our friend, the 39th Slayer. We remember him from Journey to Rooted Hold. He pursued us through the entire game, acted as a pretty good antagonist, and he's back. Except this time he is... So, I don't know, if you've ever in the aftermath of understanding how Slayers worked, a lot of players like MXV, which is Mixvelati, and others, I can't remember their names or off the top of my head, designed a bunch of ways to kill Slayers in ways that are pretty standard, like backing them into certain corners and just taking advantage of that and being able to kill them. And so now Caravel was faced with this dilemma where the unslayable Slayer became suddenly very slayable. And so they decided, we need to get back to our roots and make a truly menacing antagonist. And the only way we're going to be able to reasonably program that is to make the Slayer go through walls, as you can see right there. And so he will travel, and I guess this technology is similar to what happens with like the Seep, and that's why First Archivist or somebody has programmed their Slayers to be able to ghost through walls, which I think is a pretty slick little element. Another thing you might be noticing right now are these traps I'm walking over. They're actually like spike traps, but the only way they trigger is if I move too fast. So B-throw has to like watch his footing. So the way they're gated is for me to move slowly. And so you might be immediately asking yourself, well, why on earth would I care about that as a puzzle element? It's a turn-based game. Well, feast your eyes upon the token Time Conquer, or the Time Conquer token. Now, DROD, as you know, has been a turn-based puzzle game for a long time, and it's always been a pretty niche game. Ah, stop it, B-throw. And so people who enjoy Twitch-based games like, say, Super Meat Boy, things like that, may not always get to particularly enjoy games like DROD because they don't appeal to that side of them. So what Caravel has attempted to do, I think, is
Slaying time.
I don't want it to be slaying time. Excuse me. Is try to merge the 2 genres, where you can still be proud of being efficient, but you should also try to be fast, kind of like speed chess. High scores. There's not only high scores for how many moves you do a room in, but how quickly you can get it done, which leads to all sorts of new gameplay styles. And more interestingly, and the whole point of these is the ratio of moves to speed. It gets explored a lot more, that particular statistic, because the fastest path through a room, movement-wise, may involve crossing a lot of these patience traps. And if your efficient, quote unquote, efficient route crosses too many of these, it's just going to be a very, very slow run. So your ratio of efficiency to speed gets shot to pieces, and it's really interesting, like how much more I have to think about things by weighing the two, efficiency versus time. You can see that I did my conquered time in 3 minutes and 23 seconds. So yes, we have more menacing elements like the Slayer that moves through walls, you can see right there, and now we have more time-based elements in DROD, which should increase a lot of the puzzle gameplay styles and increase its audience, hopefully. I'm really excited about these changes. I'm looking forward to see how people like MXV can handle the efficiency to speed ratios. Because he's really talented, but is he talented and fast? We will find out. Oh yes, okay. So like in good tradition of DROD, a new tar stuff has been discovered, and this particular stuff is the chromatic goo. Now this stuff's a treat. It really is. When you touch it, when it's this light blue, it behaves like tar. When it's this magenta color, it behaves like mud, and when it's this sickly yellow color, it behaves like gel. And it cycles through those three back and forth. And as you notice, the AI on the monsters is way more sophisticated than it used to be. It's not just a roach AI anymore, which is very mundane. It's more interesting AI. Oh, this is gel, so I can't actually pierce this in any direction. I'm going to wait for it to grow over me. There we go. You may also notice this is beautiful. This is incredible. That it's growing without a goo mother in the room. This is very intentional. So goo has the unique property that it will grow if there is a goo mother anywhere on the floor. So this makes like the game have a new, like, almost meta puzzle element on every single floor that contains the chromatic goo. Because you think about, okay, which order do I need to be able to do rooms in so that they're actually possible? Because the order in which you kill the goo mothers becomes suddenly very important and interesting. It's really just phenomenal gameplay all around. Oops, there we go. Another thing you might notice up here is the tar stuff level clear gate, which behaves probably like you think it would. It's a tar clear gate, but for the whole level, so you have to actually clear out the goop for the entire level, just like you would for a black gate for a single room, but now you have to do it for the whole level. So that adds another big element of meta puzzle-esque sort of puzzle solving, which I'm a huge fan of after holds like a quiet place where you have to backtrack a lot, where the level becomes a puzzle in a puzzle in a puzzle. It's puzzleception. So yes, so many cool things. I mean, this is a good startup, but there are so many more elements in this game that they have not shown you yet. I can't really do that without their permission, so can't do much more than that. I'm sure people like Panther will be super excited to see a brand new tar stuff and tar related elements. There's a lot of them actually, especially in the condiment vat. I won't go into too much more detail about that, but suffice to say, it's there. Hopefully Caravel will let me do a few more videos before the time's all said and done, or before the game is released, so maybe this will be like serial installments of the game. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. Feel free to like this video. I'm not sure if it'll matter. I'm pretty sure it's unlisted because it's a secret. Anyway, lots of things to show you. I'm super excited. Vehicles, new monster AI, new tar stuff. You should see what they've done to goblins. Let's just say someone's weaponized them. I'm not going to tell you what that means, but it is hilarious and really interesting gameplay. Oh, so many. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Anyway, this has been your host, Pearls. I'm going to sign off now, and hope you've enjoyed what you've seen here. Hope this whetted your curiosity for Caravel's The Second Sky. I know I'm excited. But until then, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.